Coming in, bud. Alrighty. So, tonight, still nothing happening with Esther's Buick because I've had to order a rad. I had to order a few things, so that's still a ways off. But the good news is we still have the Model A. What is tonight's plan? Well, for sure I want to get the shocks in. I would like to mark and get the last two body mounts set up. And then, I don't know. We're starting with that. That seems like a good start. Like everything needs to be finished boxing and welded, but I'll kind of wait till I've ordered some parts for the steering. So I want to get the steering box kind of all figured out. And then I think I can, well, steering box got to go in. We have to do a quick light mock-up with the fenders. I want to get the shocks figured out. And then we have to notch the frame for the front spring. We have to do that yet. I don't know in the front. Well, I've ordered shocks, so they haven't come in. I usually use the, what are they called? 49 Plymouth. They're actually a really stubby, short shock. So those work really well. So I want to get, I'm waiting for those to come because we have these F1 towers that we'll be able to do. We're going to have to build some braces for the fenders, but I'm not too worried about that. These, I think I can kind of toy these off with this, depending how it works with the fender. Normally, they're pretty far back, so I don't know. Have to see how that all goes. Anyways, first things first, I'm going to do some work and do I pull the body off? I don't know. We want to do the shocks first, so we might have to cut a plate and make some tabs. I have these other shocks, so these shorter ones. So that's the plan, is to use a set of these in the back. I had these, but they don't get short enough, so these, at least get the shocks in the back. Wow, from this angle you're staring, you can kind of see everything that hangs low. I kind of noticed that when the body was on, these link bars, I was kind of mounting them purposely low, but it's almost a little, I feel that one's too low. I was kind of just mocking up my shocks, and then when the body was on, I was seeing a few things I wasn't too happy with. Anyway, shocks I think will be pretty straightforward. I think all I'm going to do, because it actually works perfect, is we'll just kind of mount a stud off the back of here. I want to still close the back of this in, but I don't know. I haven't welded this fully yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to change some stuff here shortly. But I want to put a stud onto here, put a shock. Then we're going to tilt the shock back just so we got uber travel, but I want to bring it so it'll end up sitting at about yay angle. I don't know if that's good or not, but that gets me like maximum travel I can get out of this shock without bottoming it out. So that'll be easy. Kind of configure a stud there. Up here, basically just drill a hole and probably sleeve it so that we can bolt this on and just sandwich it in place. It's good. Over here though, not too happy. Like, I'm thinking I'm going to fix these link bars. I'm going to shorten them a bit. I got to clean up everything. Like, nothing's cleaned up, but I think I'm going to cut them. I want to move them a little more parallel up so I can, because right now we only have 4 inches scrub. And over here we got, well, you can't tell, but we got like 5. And our rim is 4. If we ran a 14, like I say, I'm going to run something bigger, but we got 4.5 right there. So the chances of that hitting are slim, but I should bring it up. I mean, honestly, I guess it doesn't really matter. Because even with my oil pan up, my oil pan is going to be lower than this. Now that I think about it. Maybe I don't worry about it. I think it'll just be fine. I don't think it's going to hit. There's like plenty of other things in the front that are going to hit before those. The more I think about it. Our oil pan is going to go up, but it's only going to go up, you know, 2.5 inches. So, 2.5 inches. This is going to make this the lowest point. Alright, you win. I don't have to change you. I still have to drill these holes. Man, I gotta still weld all of that. I want to, before I do the shocks, you can see, hopefully you can see, my spring is just about hitting. Well, I think it is actually touching. I think what I want to do is lift it up, and I just want to notch, basically lift this way up so I can actually notch out the frame. I want to go, yeah, I think I might even have to do a small little notch, similar to the way I did, like Rolly did his car. If you look over here, we had to just give it the slightest of notch for the spring to do the full travel. Kind of like that. So, I think I want to do the same thing on here. His is all done and it's boxed in there after, so I'll probably do all the same stuff. But first things first, we got to lift it up and make some room to get in there and have a peek see. And I think I got to space this out more. Or take these off. I don't know that I need those. We'll base it that I don't need them. Okay, I'm going to get the jack over here. I want to lift this up. Hopefully these U-joint things come that I can actually try to figure out this whole steering box thing yet. Would be nice. This is, like I say, this should be flipped around, I'm pretty sure. But it doesn't want to spin for me. And I'm not holding the camera very straight. And I don't know if my lens is dirty. Alright, I think for tonight I'm going to, I guess I'll try to notch out that front spring. We'll get that far, then we'll call it a night.
Well, happy Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Besides pinball, what's going on today?
Well, a couple of guys were farting around. We were playing with that. I decided, what was I doing? I don't remember what I was doing. I was going to do shocks. Then it irked me just enough with that little bracket. So there's a little tidbit of me actually cutting the bracket, moving it. Then I decided to like square up and fix the back axle because the brackets were a little off. I'm not by far no perfectionist, but the stupidest little things.
But the weirdest little things will
me.
bug the living daylights
irk
out of
me.
you. Yep.
So what turned into I'll bring that bracket up and get 5 inches of clearance, even though my oil pan's gonna murder anything I drive over first. And then by then I'm like, there's chaos and it doesn't matter if it hits that cross member under the car, but I'm like, I want to raise it up at least get it as close to an inch I can do and then straighten a few things. Yeah, well, what are we at?
So how's that going?
So about 4 hours later, I'm still playing with it, trying to square things up, because then by doing all that, things went out of center and got a little goofy, and yeah, that's what's happening.
So you were talking about your snag
Before we were interrupted.
by pinball.
Our kid had his earphones in and had no idea what we were doing.
He just went right back to doing what he was doing before. So.
Anyways, I think I have the whole diff back and squared in. I was always squaring it front to back. I was doing it left to right, but yeah. Anyways, I don't know.
Where are you going with this?
I'm just over-analyzing everything to get an 1/8 of an inch. I like to have everything at least within a 1/16 of an inch. And things were out about an 1/8 inch or doing something, and before I know it, I'm like 4 hours into it. And I don't feel like I've done anything today other than I've raised my front part of my 2-link almost an inch, and I've squared the back part, and now my diff is like truly squared back in place.
So you kind of went down a rabbit hole.
Yeah. I had intentions to put shocks on and do, man, I don't even remember where I started today, but yeah, I definitely fell down a rabbit hole, and it sucks.
Are you climbing out now?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I'm winning. Now I got to weld everything up. I think I got everything in, and it's squared. It's within a 1/16 of an inch now, every which way. So, yeah.
You're happy with that?
Yeah.
Finally.
That's kind of, yeah, that was a quick rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Well, now, that was a lot of work just to put a set of shocks on. So I've raised the bars. I ended up going, like I said before, I went through all the effort. I actually did raise the bars up a hair. In doing so, the chassis kind of, like the axle kind of went out of square. So that turned into a huge endeavor, but got everything all squared. It's within a 1/16 of an inch, which I'm pretty happy with. So that part's good. Made some shock mounts. They're done and on there. So we just tied them off to the back. I got to get some strapping so I can finish this up, but I won't worry about any of that till like I get closer to like basically blow this thing apart and fully weld everything really, really good, because I have to still strap inside of here under the front. I cut out the front, but I'm going to have to brace all inside of that chassis yet up in the front. I don't like to leave that open. Up here, we did that Model A shaft again, so that was like a win. Ended up being the right size. We can just tap it straight into there. So we got our shock mounts are all in. The other thing I got to do is move, and I plan to do it anyways, because I need a new brake hose dealio. So that's either going to go forward or I'm going to move it on the other side of the diff. So right now, because if I bottomed out, I think the shock would hit this thing. So these cables are too dang long anyways, and I have to weld these arms back on to the chassis somehow. Well, not somehow, just actually weld them back on and properly run the brake line. And I think I'm going to run the line over here, because then I can piggyback and run it along the chassis. Same thing with the fuel tank. Once that's in there, I got to figure that all out. I think I'm actually just going to build a tank. Probably be the best for the car. I can make it fit the way I want. And I can set it up that I can put a stock sending unit from like a Silverado or something. That's my plan. Then it's just easy peasy to find parts and do whatever else. The plan is, like I say, I'm going to make a tank, and man, I wish I knew the company that sent me these. I lost one in the shop. One would use the original ring, and then they have this one where you can use like a stock sending unit into a steel tank, and you can it's awesome. I just wish I knew what company this was. They sent me to one of each there in the old shop, and I think it was when I was building something and I was doing my tank, and I figured my thing out, but they apparently make these parts, and I wish I know. If you know whoever that company is, if they can hit me up, that'd be great. Let me know so I can send the proper thanks. But this thing's actually going to get some use very shortly. Well, kinda. Still got to do. We got a long way before we're actually trying to fire this thing up. But anyways, I think that's about as far as I'm getting tonight. So be back at it in the morning. I still have to do these two mounts, but we got everything done really well. I'm gonna either do the same, or I might just drill and tap that one, because I got more than enough body mounts. But we'll try to eliminate any squeaks, even though I'm going to be hearing a fuel pump just humming away behind me. But hopefully the one in the tank, it'll be much quieter when that day comes. Well, we're plugging away pretty good, I think. So, again, have to stress, nothing's tight, nothing's fully welded, but drive shaft's done in. We'll have to hodge that part out. I'm thinking I'm actually going to take most of this upper part off because we're going to be building it anyways, so it'd be easier to do a floor here and then do a little tighter hump and follow the floor with that same roundy contour. I think would be pretty cool. What we did, we had the notch for the drive shaft, but we won't have an excessive hump. But I do think I want to keep this thing, because of the way the transmission's going. I don't know the full swing of the rear travel, but I'm kind of imagining if it was that high, that should be more than enough for, you know, the 4 inches of travel I got, considering this thing's just going to swing like this. So it's just coming off these front links, and the diff is merely going to just do that. So I feel that'll be a good, not an over aggressive hump or nothing, but it'll just make it easier with the shifter just to make a very uniformed, huggy kind of tunnel that's going to go through here. I do want to pick up some 1/2 inch steel just so I can kind of build a little bit of a perimeter thing here around the transmission. I want to hug it, but not crazy tight, because I want to be able to service it or get it out if I have to. It's already kind of miserable. I don't even know. I might have to pull motor in trans at this point if I want to get it out, just because of the way I did this. Might have hooped me. This will be tall enough if I take it off. I just don't know if it'll go back enough that I can pop that out. You know what I mean? But hopefully I never have a problem, and that's not an issue. I could make the tunnel removable, but that's just a whole lot of work for nothing. Like, by the time I usually do the interior, then I find I got to dismantle so much interior, it's kind of junky to do that. Then again, it's going to be 3 bolts. Pull the rad, dump the headers off, and it's like, out. So, well, no, probably not. I guess any way I look at it, it's going to be kind of sucky and hard. I want to do the cowl, and I like it kind of the way it was, so I don't know if I'm going to really open this whole section up. There's no need for it, because the way this LS is, I can kind of just run right over it. I can still get the valve covers off if I had to, things like that. So we do have to step it in to go behind, and I got to figure out the pedals. I did find I had some Tri-5 pedals, so I'm waiting. I ordered a couple of master cylinders. I ordered like the old Corvette manual 4-wheel disc brake. So I'm going to use that on here, and I'm going to use probably another one on the Dodge. I think when it comes down to it, I think I'm going to ditch that and just go swing pedals in there. Anyways, I got these Tri-5 ones, and they look like they're going to work. So I'm kind of, my plan though, it's kind of hard to one-hand this. I have to build a structure for them to sit on, but I think it's going to work. We do have to step everything back because the firewall hasn't stepped in, so I might have to look into that. Somehow I'm going to build this structure, and I want to tie it into the fuel tank. I'm going to open up the fuel tank because I'm not going to use it, so I'll be able to stash my wiring and things in there. But man, do I want to do that? I'm thinking how I got to do stuff on this car, and everything's kind of getting complicated. It's almost like it'd be easier to pull the body off than it will be to pull the trans. I mean, if I make the hump a little bit bigger, then I'm okay to get that motor back, because that cross member drops. I guess it depends on the motor. If the motor will swing down enough, I can actually slide the transmission out, because there is just I'm thinking that is just gonna clear. Yeah. All right. But everything's like loosely bolted in, so I have all the bolts positioned where they're supposed to go. There. No, there. And I have 2 in behind. I have those drilled, but there's nothing in them right now. But I don't think anything's gonna really move between now and my farting around here. I guess originally these would have just had wood panels in everywhere, but we're gonna do a steel floor everywhere. Just some of the places I want to just connect some. Well, I guess I can do 1 by 1 into here. Oh, maybe I can do 1 by 1 in here. I don't have my tape measure, but this might be 1 inch. Now that I think about it, then I might be good. No, it's not. So I got to get that 1/2 inch. So I might have to do a run. And I don't know. We just got a whole dump of snow yet again. So there's like no end to it. I don't think it'll stick around very long, but yeah. It's snowy, but it's warm. I kind of want to find some seats just to mock up in here and see how it's going to feel, how my pedals, how that's going to go. I might throw the tank on and then quickly just tack weld this thing to the bottom of the tank just so I can get a vibe of how my pedals and things are going to go and how squishy things are going to be in here. Ooh, all right. Stall rolly seat. Just slab the piece of steel on here to see how this goes. And it's, well, they're way too low, which is fine. I kind of need it to go higher because my brake booster is going to go like into my valve covers right now, or my master cylinder. This definitely needs a tweak because that's a little tight. And then steering, my goodness, steering. Huh. Like it almost wants to go between the pedals. It's like I can almost squeeze this. If I had my steering wheel here, kind of going down past the brake pedal, I can almost squeeze by the header and then come back around up to the box. So that means I could mount the box a little more flat, which would be good. Man. So this structure building is going to be kind of interesting now that I think about it. Like, well, this master cylinder needs to be like up here, which is good. That means I can just bolt that on. But we got to sink this firewall like straight back and somehow give it a whole lot of strength. Like the two have to join. I really would like the upper part of the fuel tank to be able to come off. But it might make for a whole lot of work. I don't know why. I think I'd want it to come off to be able to easily pull the motor and trans. That's my thought. Okay, well, you got an idea. This is not terrible, but also not ideal. Like, man, that is going to be so close. We're totally wrapping those headers. That is going to be terrible. Yes, sir. But I think there's a shed of light that we can get through there. Oh, that might be good. Oh. There is just such a hint of hope that I can get. I don't know if that's gonna work. I think we still need a bajillion U-joints to do that. In my head, it looked like I could have my steering column and just get in between here, and then we could, you know, I figure I'd almost have a straight shot, but I don't know. Like, my original idea is it's gonna go crazy up high like that. I don't know about that either. Interesting. Lots to think about. But once we get the pedals, steering we can just figure out somehow. With enough U-joints, I guess the guy can figure anything out, but yeah. It'd be perfect. Well, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of curious about S10 headers, because they usually had the steering go through it, so I'm just wondering if I'd have a better straight shot and go through the header, and then I can kind of wobble joint over. I think any way I look at it, I need a wobble joint to a wobble joint to a wobble joint, and then, you know, a joint here, maybe a double right here, down to a single there, and then have a stud sitting on here to hold the whole sloppy mess. I don't know. I'm gonna see. I think the kid has a set of headers in the shed. Came off the Silverado, but I'm wondering if it's actual Silverado ones or they're like S10 ones. I don't know. I'll have a peek. The S10 ones, like I say, they have a weird, one of the headers kind of have a weird hoop so the steering shaft can go through. But I don't know. I don't know if he's got, I'll see if he's got. I know where they are, so I'll have a peek. Can always trade them. All right, I looked in the shed. They are pretty much the same headers. The one side's a little different, but not going to work. I actually wonder if I can flip those things forward, if that would work. I don't know. I don't think I really have the space for that, but it's worth a shot to see. more I look at this, the more I don't think this is going to work, but let's have a look anyways. It just doesn't seem to, well, maybe. Oh, if this worked, that would solve so many problems. But that's questionable. It'll make for a mess up in the front. There's so much going on up there too. No bueno. That does not work. Man. Like, center dumps would be really nice. Custom headers? Is that what we're gonna have to do? Boy, that'd be so much easier, eh? Oh. And I think we still would have to double U-joint it, but man, if I did lake headers, that would make it so much easier. I don't really want to do that though. Well, we got a lot of junk to fit in a small space. So much junk in such a small space. Well, on my scavenger hunt, I happened to find some marginally better fenders yet. I know this sure don't look like it, but this is actually surprisingly much better. A little bit of welding. It does have some crazy rot down here. The other fender though, that one's really nice. And it sort of has the support brace, which is cool. But where's that one go? I don't know. It has its problems elsewhere though. Like these fenders are all super rough. Like they always get destroyed there. This is the one that I got caught up when I tried to do a Mustang thing. This one's like not, it's bad. It's not terrible. This one's super nice in comparison to that one. Look at this one. It's got a few dents. It's a little mangled up there, but the rest of it's pretty good. Pretty happy with that. That one, I think I gotta repurpose some of the back of that one because it's pretty rotten on this thing here. And down here it's got quite a bit of rot, but I don't know. I don't think I'll mess with the fenders just yet because our what is it, in a couple weeks we got our swap meet coming up, so I might actually be able to, maybe, I don't know. Sheet metal's pretty hard to find there, but there's a possibility. I was digging around and I seen another door, so I got a couple of these driver's doors. This one, like, just maybe steal the guts. This one's pretty clean other than the bottom. It's rotten like these doors, so I'll either rebuild the bottoms. I did find like the dashes, but they are pretty poor shape because, well, they kind of had a building fall on them, so, but we might be able to salvage these and have them for inside the car. What else did I get? Those other fenders that were sitting on the wall or on that post, I grabbed those only because this is what I've kind of mocked the car up with, which is fine. I did find another fender, and that's basically what started my scavenge hunt. Was I found a fender like that, and it was just, I don't know, it had the Model A look to it, but it was just more more round. So what I was going to do is trim all this out, and then I would bring this fender in, and then I can actually start that, like bring it right up to the frame and do the tub off the edge. But I can only find the one fender, so it really doesn't help me at all. It would have been awesome. Look at this thing. Look how much lip that goes. So that would have been the perfect start of everything I needed, and then I just would have finished, you know, as far as I needed to where the floor was going to be inside the car. So, oh well. That was what I was trying to find. I couldn't find. And then in the hunt there, I ended up finding a bunch of other things. See, this one had a different, it had a different shape. It's kind of weird. Stuff's been cut out of this one, so I don't really know if this one's a Model A as well. Kind of looks like it, but this one has the line. Oh, it's not as big. So maybe it's not. This one's got, well, again, I don't know if that's Model A. I have to go actually look at a proper Model A fender here now. Oh yeah, they're much wider, the line. So that's what we're looking at. So I guess we're still hooped trying to make these things fit. I don't need tires. I don't need the fenders to be perfect. I just want them to be semi-round. Like, kind of, we'll just planish these out a little bit and it'll be good enough. That's all I'm looking for out of this thing. It just makes it, though. We got to do a little more. Those other fenders would have been so awesome, but I don't have. Oh well. I have been scavenging around. I didn't get a whole lot done to brag about here. We got the shocks done. I redid the rear suspension yet again. Although hopefully I didn't take up too much time doing that. Our body mounts are all in. We got the rear shocks in. We got the drive shaft. I got the wrong U-joint on there, so I have to change that yet, but it's good for mock-up, so that part's good. All our body mounts are down. We have a game plan for the front. Yeah, I don't know what I want to do first, but I don't know if that much else is going to happen this round. I think next round the plan's going to be to build a floor. We got to do the floor, to which then maybe possibly we can get the floor done, and this mini tub thing would be pretty cool to do that. I'm not going to worry too much. I'm not going to get too much into the tunnel, because that's like a whole different beast altogether. But yeah, I see I got to pick up a little bit of steel before I can actually get this floor going. But when I do, it should be pretty awesome. Anyways, folks, on that note, I want to thank you all for watching. And we will catch you on the next one, where I'm sure we're doing more Model A stuff, because this car's not cooperating very well with me, and I'm trying to smash it all into just one last video and finish her up. So, and it's very tedious. We got to finish up a little bit of the wiring, and yeah, we got a few obstacles, but we're close with the car.